What's good, everyone? It's your boy Richard Wong, aka AreDoubleYou, back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Keylab MK3 keyboard from Arturia. I've had it for a little over a week now, and I've used it on every single piece of music I've worked on since, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think about it and if this is the keyboard for you. Not sponsored, by the way. I did get the keyboard sent to me for free, but they do not have any say on what I can or cannot say in this video. So the keyboard I used before this was an Arturia keyboard as well, but it was the Essential model, and I will say the difference is insane. The overall build quality is levels ahead. Wood on the sides, the metal on the mod wheels feels amazing, and the buttons feel super satisfying to press. The faders feel better, the knobs feel better, and honestly, the best part about this keyboard is the key bed. As a producer who likes to play melodies out on the keyboard, I gotta say this is the best key bed I've ever played on. It feels absolutely amazing. If you look closely, you can see they got it lined with felt just to make each press feel smooth and not clunky. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, the feel of this keyboard makes me want to use it more. It has actually inspired me to make more music. Another thing that's great about this keyboard is the Daw Integration. Super easy to set up. You just gotta download some scripts from the resources website and then just turn on the keyboard. I've been using it with Logic Pro and it works great. So I can use the main encoders to select my track. I can use the faders to control my volume on different tracks, and then I can use the knobs as well to do the pan. And if you look at the screen, you can see the exact volume amount come up as well. It also has controls for play, stop, record, tap tempo. You can turn your loop on and off. You can save, undo, redo. There's art mode. You can quantize. Yeah, scale mode, chord mode, all of which you can use to control your DAW. So currently the Keylab MK3 supports integration for Logic, Ableton Live, FL Studio, Cubase, and Bitwig. So if you're using one of those, you can get this thing set up easy. Now if you watch my videos, watch my live streams, you know I'm a huge user of the Arturia V collection, especially Analog Lab. It's probably my most used instrument plugin for the past few years. So if you're a big Analog Lab user, this keyboard is built for you. The Analog Lab integration is absolutely insane. Let me show you guys what it can do. So currently I am in DAW mode. As you can see, it has the name of the track. But if I have Analog Lab loaded on my track, as you can see right here, all you have to do is click this encoder. It'll bring up Analog Lab onto the screen, and not only that, but it will turn the keyboard into Analog Lab mode. And in Analog Lab mode, it shows you your preset, but not only that, you can also search for new presets using the encoder and just find what you want, different keys, pads, go to different instruments, genres, banks, and you can go through all the stuff that you have. And just to get you away from looking at the computer screen, you can do everything right on this display. You can go back if you don't want that. And of course, you can go up and down with the arrow keys, change your preset. It'll change presets in Analog Lab itself. If you have the browser open in Analog Lab, you can also use the encoder to search way faster to find exactly which one you want, and you just click in to load. You can also save the preset here by clicking this, and you can always go back to Logic mode by clicking back. Of course, you just click it in, it'll come right back up. So now while you're in Analog Lab mode, the faders and the knobs will now control Analog Lab. So if you look at the screen, while I do this, the envelope to attack is going up. And if I do this, envelope to decay is going up. Low to sustain, and of course every preset is going to have different parameters that you can now control. And I'll show this off with the knobs as well. Brightness, you can turn the brightness up, and of course, if you play at the same time, so everything's already automatically assigned. And also you can see what you're controlling on the screen itself. So every time you touch something different, the parameters will change. Same with the knobs. It'll show you the percentage. It shows you exactly what you're controlling as well on the screen. That way, if you really don't want to look at the computer, you don't have to. You can have everything right on the keyboard. So those are the positive things about the keyboard, but unfortunately, there are some negative things as well. First off, the biggest negative about this keyboard is the lack of poly aftertouch. So polyphonic aftertouch is essentially a feature that allows each key to be individually pressure sensitive. So if you're playing a chord and you press and hold one key a little longer and a little harder than the others, different effects will be applied to that one specific note and not affect the other notes of that chord that you just played. Now, this isn't a very commonly used feature in music right now, but with the way things are going, it could be. So the lack of poly aftertouch in a premium keyboard is disappointing. Keyboards like the new Native Instruments keyboard does have the feature, but it does come at a significant price increase compared to the Keylab Mark III. Honestly, they might have kept that feature out just so they can keep the keyboards at a price that they wanted without having to increase the price. Another negative about the keyboard is definitely the lack of 16 pads. They opted to go with 12 pads instead of the classic 16. The lack of 16 pads on the keyboard really doesn't affect me much because I usually don't really use the pads on the keyboard. There were pads on my old keyboard that I almost never used either, but that's because I usually use the machine for all my drum pad needs. But I will say, the pads on this keyboard do feel incredible. So if having 16 pads is important to you, definitely keep that in mind if you're thinking about purchasing this keyboard. But that's it for my review of the Arturia Keylab Mark III. If key feels important to you, this is the keyboard for you. It feels absolutely amazing, such a pleasure to play. If you're curious on how it feels, I recommend going to like a guitar center or something like that just to see it and experience how it feels, because it is a joy to play. Daw Integration is great as well, so if that's really important to you, I definitely recommend checking it out. Also, if you're an analog lab user, the integration is unmatched. Now, if drum pads are important to you, this one's tough because there are only 12, but the pads feel amazing. I used to have a Kai's MPK keyboard, which has the MPC style pads on it, and I will say these pads feel much nicer. And finally, if poly aftertouch is important to you, then this is definitely not the keyboard for you. But that's me for this one. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know exactly what you think, subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
They don't know what it takes for you to chase your dreams. All these sacrifices, don't know what it brings. This just feels so right, yeah. This just feels so right, feels so